Eastern Conference USL matchup today as Swope Park Rangers prepare to host the Charlotte Independents on a sunny, hot afternoon in Kansas City, Kansas. Swope Park Rangers and Charlotte Independents next. Children's Mercy Park in Kansas City, Kansas is the site of this afternoon's USL Eastern Conference matchup with Swope Park Rangers hosting Charlotte Independents. Hello, everybody. I'm Nate Bucati, joined by Matt Lawrence. And Matt, these are two teams that go about things very differently, at least when it comes to the experience side of things in today's matchup.
Yeah, this is very much experience against innocence here. You have the innocence of the Swope Park Rangers teenagers, certainly quite a few of them out there, and some very experienced heads playing for Charlotte Independents. The likes, obviously, of Aaron Maund and Brandon Miller in goal, Dominic Aduro up front as well, Nate.
Well, let's talk about some of that contrast when it comes to the midfield. Enzo Martinez, 28 years old, has USL and MLS experience that he brings to the table.
And I thought he was a real bright spark for Colorado Rapids last season. Yes, they didn't have a great season, but he was one of those bright points. I think he's got a real good eye for goal. Yes, he hasn't scored for Charlotte Independents this year, but he is a great shot from long range and has already provided 4 assists for Charlotte Independents.
He's 28 years old. Meanwhile, Gianluca Busio for Sporting Kansas City played 3 minutes last night in Toronto. Now he's here with Swope Park Rangers at just 17 years old, turned 17 last week.
All about mental strength for Gianluca Busio. He's going to feel that he's still in MLS play mode, coming off the bench last night, as you mentioned. He's got to get back into USL play now. Maybe only 17 years of age, but there's an expectancy on him being able to dictate the tempo from the middle of midfield.
Rangers versus Independents from Children's Mercy Park. Starting lineups and kickoff next. just about set for kickoff at Children's Mercy Park between Swope Park Rangers and Charlotte Independence. Let's take a look quickly at the starting lineups for both of these sides. First off for the Independence, starting with a 3-5-2 formation. You're going to see Aaron Mond, Thico, and Hassan Ndam across the back there. Gutman will be a little farther up the pitch on the left-hand side for Independence. Meanwhile, for Swope Park Rangers, they will go with a 4-3-3 formation, and we'll keep an eye on the young, exciting midfield trio of Kuzain, Busio, and Zelalem. All three players were in the 18 for Sporting Kansas City in Toronto last night. They flew home today, and they are in the starting 11 for the Rangers today. Head coach for Swope Park Rangers, former Sporting KC man, Paulo Nagamura. And for the Charlotte Independence, Jim McGuinness, former Gaelic football coach and star as well, but quite the pedigree and experience in the world of soccer as well. Our referee is Ismir Pekmic. We are just about set for soccer. How about that? From a sunny Children's Mercy Park, 87 degrees at kickoff. And away we go. Charlotte Independence dressed in the all-white, moving from right to left. Swope Park Rangers in the navy blue with orange numbers and orange socks going from left to right. Swope Park Rangers come in to this game in 17th place out of 18 teams in the Eastern Conference of the USL Championship. Charlotte Independence just 1 point better in 16th place in the East. They are 1-7-5. Swope Park Rangers 1-7-4 on the year.
Just taking a quick look at the formation of Charlotte Independence. It looks as though Gutman's playing on the left-hand side, Nate. Very much a 3-4-1-2 with Enzo Martinez pushing on as much as possible to get upside, in conjunction with Dominic Aduro and Nicky Jackson. Obviously, Martinez knows a great deal about Nicky Jackson after having spent the last season with him at Colorado Rapids.
You see a lot of players with extensive MLS experience and USL experience up and down this Charlotte Independence starting 11. Meanwhile, for Swope Park Rangers, youth is the order of business. Players developing a lot of upside and potential. You see Juan Kuzain, 20 years old.
Yeah, you mentioned the ages, Nate. It's quite a contrast. Charlotte Independence with 7 players, 28 years of age and over. Swope Park Rangers, not a player over 24 years of age.
Luca Busio trying to close down Teacott that time. Goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Brandon Miller. He's 29 years old.
Maybe a young midfield trio for Swope Park Rangers, but they've got experience at MLS level. Zelalem, Juan Kuzain and Gianluca Busio, obviously, they'll be hoping to get their foot on the ball and really dictating the tempo for Swope Park Rangers in the middle of the park.
Segbers went flying through the air to win that header, but that has vacated the left-hand side as Gutman comes down, attacking the top of the penalty area. Karani was able to poke it away for the Rangers. Tries to get on the end of this, but it is recovered by Jake Ariman. Second home game in quick succession for Swope Park. We're here on Wednesday afternoon, or evening, I should say. Suffered a 3-2 loss to Loudoun United. Riley volleys it forward.
It's certainly been tough at home and away for Swope Park Rangers this season. Conceded far too many goals, Nate. 29 goals in the 12 games. Hasn't been helped, obviously, by the number of injuries to Sporting KC, which has in turn obviously hurt Swope Park Rangers too.
This ball through for Oduro, try to touch it around Adrian Zendejas, but Zendejas able to cover it in the end. Zendejas, long arms, long legs. He's been integral to a couple of runs to the USL Championship game for the Swope Park Rangers side in the past.
Yeah, he tends to dictate his penalty area very well. Zendejas comes off his line quickly, as we saw there, out very sharply to deny Dominic Aduro. I think that's one main worry for Swope Park Rangers. Aduro just playing off the shoulders of Camden Riley, getting in behind the back line.
Busio brings it down, trying to get it to Kuzain, but Enzo Martinez takes it back, poked away by Zalalem, and taken by Swope Park.
It's been a really hectic start, this opening 4 minutes and 12 seconds. Things will calm down shortly. So hot out there, Nate, as you've already mentioned. This tempo can't keep going throughout the 90 minutes.
Riley forward to Alak. Now back to Riley, the center back, marauding down the middle of the park. Forward to Venacor Decker. Blocked by Hassan Ndam. Comes back to Zalalem.
Very impressive run there from Camden Riley, carrying the ball out of defence. Not so impressive there. The ball whipped out to Mark Sebras, a couple of yards behind him. Camden Riley, though, as we know, Nate, can play at centre-half, can play in the middle of midfield. With the three youngsters coming back from Sporting KC duty, Riley slipped back into the centre-half role, but looks very assured on the ball.
Jackson with a turn, sends one player to the ground, that's Kuzain. Referee plays advantage. Now brings it back for the foul.
Yeah, good advantage played there by the referee. It's the initial foul by Juan Kuzain. Certainly not the second one. It was a fair challenge from Kaveh Rad. Martinez, that experienced head, gets on the ball. I would imagine he'll take most set pieces this afternoon for Charlotte Independence. Tends to be quality delivery with that right foot of his.
Martinez, a Uruguayan, but from South Carolina. Boy, put that service in. The referee is going to bring things back and have a word with Hassan Ndam and Camden Riley.
Enzo Martinez will be quite happy to have a second go. Far too much loft on that delivery. Second time lucky, hopefully, for Martinez.
Not as much loft. The header won by Karani. Back out to Martinez. Segbers, the header forward to Busio. Karani got signals crossed with Kuzain that time. He gives it away. Gutman around Kuzain. Duro's touch was too heavy, cleared away.
Really does have the license to roam. Enzo Martinez out on the left-hand side right now. Previous to that, playing through the middle in conjunction with Duro and Nicky Jackson.
Jackson trying to get it to Oduro. Duro is able to clip it back. Foul given against Charlotte Independence that time.
The referee should have just allowed play to go on. Swope Park Rangers win possession of the ball.
That was Abdouli Mansali, the guilty party on the foul.
Already seeing, though, aren't we, from Charlotte Independence, some positive running from Aduro, Nicky Jackson. Fair bit of pace between them. 10 years between them as well. Aduro 33 and Nicky Jackson a meager 23 years of age.
It was a good diagonal ball from Alexander to Karani.
It's really impressed me this season, Alexander. Loves to bomb up and down that left-hand side. Already got 5 assists to his name and 1 goal.
He's 20 years old. Here he is on the ball again, trying to turn this time, just possessed by Mansali. Won back cleanly by Alexander, according to the referee.
That's what he's got, though. He's got the pace to recover, Alexander. It's poor play from him initially, but that pace allows him to recover.
Enzo Martinez. Cleared away by Segbers.
You certainly don't see that very often from Swope Park Rangers teams. A ball launched forward, fully 50 yards into space. So a decent ball from Segbers allowed Vanacore Decker to run on and win Swope Park a throw on.
See Hassan Endam and Vanacore Decker, size difference there. Endam listed at 6'4". All over the top for Oduro. He was offside.
That's what Charlotte Independence will be looking for. Just a little ball clipped over the back of that Swope Park Rangers defence, holding a very high line at the moment. The pace of Oduro and Nicky Jackson are hoping to play on the back shoulder of Swope Park Rangers defenders and just get a run on them.
Oduro, 33 years old, another one of those very experienced players, both at the MLS level and at USL. Ghanaian international. He's got a lot of pace, as Maddie pointed out, even at 33 years old. Kuzane.
You'd almost think he has the quality as well to still be a vital squad member in some MLS sides. But having a good season so far with Charlotte Independence. They're struggling, the Independents, but Oduro isn't. He's got 5 goals this season already.
Gutman gets the overlap from Jackson. Back to Gutman, trying to find Oduro. Zendejas springs off his line to cover.
Safe goalkeeping there from Adrian Zendejas. Good run from Gutman. Just a ball just clips off the big toe of Camden Riley and safely into the arms of Zendejas. Wasn't an intentional back pass.
Well, Gutman's an interesting story. Coming from Illinois, could have been a Chicago Fire, homegrown. After a brief period of time at University of Indiana, joined Celtic FC in Glasgow, Scotland. The team that just won the treble in Scotland, by the way, 3 years in a row of winning the treble. Has been loaned back to the United States to play for Charlotte Independence.
Definitely a loan that's never been seen before, Celtic to Charlotte Independence.
But Jim McGinnis, the head coach for Charlotte, has that connection to Celtic, so it makes a little sense. Here is Gutman. Nice turn that time from Nicky Jackson. Outside of his foot, trying to find Martinez. Martinez able to hold on to it for now, at least. Volley just wide of the target in the end by Oduro.
It's a great turn from Nicky Jackson, gets the ball into the area early on. Enzo Martinez breaks one tackle, then it's almost Oduro and Enzo Martinez tackling each other. And then the snapshot at the end off the outside of the right foot of Oduro just goes up wide of that post of Adrian Zendejas. That's his goal.
Nothing on there.
Lucio trying to hold up play now for the Rangers.
Need to see more of that midfield trio of Swope Park Rangers. Lucio, Zelalem now on the ball and one Kuzane. That's a little bit better from Zelalem.
And the Decker with some space has a go from long range, right down the middle. Fielding practice for Brandon Miller that time.
Yeah, that one didn't sting the hands, that's for certain, of Brandon Miller, but a decent strike from Vanacore Decker. First shot on target of the game.
Well, Kuzane just got clipped on the follow-through by Jake Ehrman. Trying to find Kalani, felt he was fouled there. Segbers and Bucio trying to combine on the right-hand side there, but out for a throw-in for the Independents. Martinez got past Riley, but all the way into the penalty area where Zendejas gathers and releases Alexander. He's one of those midfielders, Zalalem. Switches it to the near side, Segbers. A bit of space. Sliding Karani down that right-hand side. Karani does well to keep it in. He's not afraid of running people one-on-one, Karani. The Wichita, Kansas product tried to trick or two against Gutman there.
And I like that from Karani, real old school winger. Loves going one-on-one against players. This time it was Gutman. I like the way Karani drove Gutman into the box, made it very difficult for Gutman to make a tackle in the penalty area. Always has to be wary of giving away a penalty. Karani, obviously 18 years of age. Got a good career ahead of him by the looks of it.
He joined the Sporting Kansas City Academy system in 2015 as they look to continue to expand that region where they are developing young players down in Wichita, Kansas. Clever ball from Zalalem looking for Bucio, but just a little too far ahead. His fellow midfielder. Bucio, though, closing down Brandon Miller, knocks it out for a throw-in deep in Charlotte territory. Here's another look at the work between Zalalem and Bucio. Clever from Zalalem, but just off target a bit.
Yeah, that relationship's certainly growing, isn't it? Zalalem and Bucio very much on the same wavelength. Back heel just slightly overhit, but unlucky from Zalalem. See more of him in the last few minutes getting on the ball.
Yeah.
We need to see that now. We need to see Zalalem and Bucio demanding the ball. More than good enough to be dictating the tempo of this game.
Well, Zalalem is a player that has been on the radar for United States men's national team fans for quite some time. Really going back 6 years ago when he joined the Arsenal Academy system at just 16 years of age. And it's kind of the story with U.S. soccer. Anytime a young American goes overseas to join one of the big European clubs, even if it's at the youth level, immediately sends off the radar alarm for a lot of the U.S. national team fans. They've been keeping track of him. He's never really been able to get it going on a consistent basis at any of his stops so far. And some of that's due to injury. He's had some bad luck with some serious injuries. Came to Kansas City to join Sporting KC, getting some minutes with Rangers. Here's a long-range effort from Araman that's easily saved by Zendejas, but here is Zalalem on the ball again. And what we've seen from him so far in Kansas City, Matt, whether it's with Rangers or Sporting Kansas City, is a guy who is very technically gifted, very technically sound, tidy on the ball. I think they're trying to prod him to make his mark on the game a little bit more.
It quite often seems as though he's playing in third gear. Everything seems a little bit too easy for him without him really grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck. You want to see a little bit more from him. Dictate the tempo of the game a bit more, maybe have some more shots on goal as well. We are seeing some nice link-up play between Zalalem and Bucio. But I'm with you. But look, when he was at Arsenal, he nearly got there, Nate. He was so close to getting a lot of first-team minutes, and that really serious injury has curtailed his career. Slowly getting it back. Still on the radar of the national under-23 team. Obviously very much on the radar of Peter Vermees and Sporting KC.
At some point, though, you have to start doing it for club before you get the calls for country, right? Sometimes that's about fit. Sometimes it's about being in the right system, but sometimes it's just about going out there on a day-in, day-out basis. When you play international soccer, you're in for a couple of weeks with the team, and then you're gone again. When you're at the professional level, you know as well as anybody, 16 years as a pro yourself, Matt, it's about what you do on a day-in, day-out basis, right?
And for me, you talk about systems. This system suits Gideon Zalalem, whether it's here for Swope Park Rangers or with Sporting Kansas City. It does fit playing in that, probably a number 8 position, we'll call it, just in front of Kuzain, who's playing the number 6. But yeah, you're right. There needs to be consistency and there needs to be minutes. And there needs to be MLS minutes, really, before you consider for national team duty.
Not so high, Enzo. Jake, behind you.
Rangers looking to play out of the back here. Segber's closed down by Gutman.
I like the way the Swope Park Rangers, some of these youngsters have been given the confidence to play out of the back by manager Paulo Nagamura. There are obviously going to be some mistakes, so obviously sometimes a goal is going to be gifted when they're trying to play out the back, but Nagamura wants them to play the game the right way. It's good to see the young players like Kave Rad, only 17 years of age, willing to get the ball off Zendejas and play out the back, even when he's under pressure.
Keep it. One touch, two touch.
The only way to get good at something like that is to have players go out and not be afraid to fail at it at some point. Ball in by Gutman was blocked by Segbers.
To get good at anything, Nate, you have to be willing to fail. And a lot of these Swope Park Rangers players are willing to fail.
Yeah, if you just clear your lines every time and punt the ball up the field, you're never going to develop the ability to play out of the back, right?
You're certainly never going to develop into a player that's going to play in the system transferring into Sporting Kansas City either, that's for sure. Nagamura and Peter Vermees obviously work in tandem an awful lot.
Zalalem gave it, now gets it back. Has a chance to clip it back. It's intercepted by Brandon Miller, the goalkeeper. Good work from Zalalem getting down that left-hand channel again, though. Oduro, though, dicing his way through the Rangers' back line, but good recovery from Riley. He's down, grabbing his ankle. Both Oduro and Riley are on the ground here.
You have to credit both players there. Oduro did incredibly well just to skip through the two centre-halves of Swope Park Rangers. Camden Riley just didn't give it up, though. Hasn't got the greatest pace, Riley, but got right back in there. This is that run. Cuts in between Riley, in between Rad. He's off. But just as he's about to shoot, Riley gets a big left foot there. Hurts both players. Let's hope they're both all right. Decent block from Camden Riley.
Certainly a clean play from Riley. Much needed water break ensues on what is a hot sunny day here in a sun-drenched Children's Mercy Park. Paulo Nagamura talking to his right winger Ayub Alak.
Alak's not just really been able to get on the ball, has he, Nate? We've seen a lot more of Sean Karani. A lot of the play's been coming down this right side through Segbers and through Karani. Hasn't quite transferred over to the left-hand side of the pitch with Alexander, the left-back, who loves to overlap. And Ayub Alak, the number 98, only 21 years of age.
Both players back to their feet now. Nicky Jackson making his way over to the Independence technical area. A little hydration.
Strangely, Dominic Oduro's been kept off the field of play here, but Camden Riley, who also got some treatment, he's been allowed on the field of play. He's allowed to stay there. Jim McGuinness, the Charlotte Independence head coach, was just screaming at our referee this evening, or this afternoon, Ismail Pekmik.
Well, The good news was Oduro was able to come right back on as soon as the throw-in was taken, and that was the time that the Independents were giving the ball back sportingly to Swope Park Rangers. So it was curious, but
no harm done.
Yeah, no impact on the game. Here's Busio. Busio fresh back from the U17s. Runner-up finish at the CONCACAF Championships. They fell in extra time to rival Mexico. But Busio was certainly one of, if not the biggest stars for the United States U17s at that competition.
Certainly Busio and Gio Reyna were probably the top performers for Swope Park Rangers, for the under-17 team.
Kuzane serving it down the left-hand side. He was looking for Ayub Alak that time. Intervention from Kuzane. Well, if you're on the field, you want to stay where Busio is right now, in the shade, right? Right on this right-hand side. Oduro guilty of the foul that time. Alexander around Martinez. Right down the middle of the park now, Alexander. Maybe trying to beat one too many men.
Yeah, the men Charlotte Independents attack down the hole that he's left, the space he's left.
Monsali clipping it toward the back post, looking for Oduro. He took it on the volley, but he pushed it wide.
This is that space vacated by Alexander. It's a good run down that right-hand side.
While we were looking at that replay, Enzo Martinez took down Juan Kuzane right at the top of the D, and it was a little bit of a delayed whistle. Martinez was through on goal. Now he hit the shot off of the post, so it would not have been a goal anyway, but the referee with the late whistle gives the foul against Martinez.
Martinez is not happy with the referee. Pekmik trying to dictate the game. Enzo Martinez has been chirping at the referee the whole game so far.
Yeah, we could hear it all the way up here a little while ago when he was complaining about a foul that had gone against Oduro. Like Oduro thought he'd come from an offside position there to affect the play, but the flag stays down. Jackson firing a shot, and it pings off the bar. Still Charlotte on the front foot. Oduro puts the header across, contact in the penalty area. Play on, says the referee. Nicky Jackson went to ground, but official had a good look at it and saw nothing wrong with it. Swope Park Rangers living dangerously there. Saved by the crossbar.
Crossbar's still wobbling as well. It was some strike from Nicky Jackson.
Good switch from Alex to Karani. This time he gives it back to Busio. 28th minute, we are scoreless here in Kansas City between Swope Park Rangers and the Charlotte Independents. Alak had won it back and then loses it back to Monsali. And Alak has just not really had much of an opportunity to get himself into the game so far. Martinez right down the middle, disrupted by Kaveh Rad, the 17-year-old. Alex has liked this diagonal ball so far today.
He does. He loves that switch from left to right. Poor first touch this time from Karani. He's got that in the locker, though, Alexander, the left back for Swope Park Rangers.
That's a pass you see quite often in this system. So Karani will have to continue to work on his touch, being able to bring that long ball down. Not as easy as it looks. Here's a ball clipped toward the top corner, and Zendejas able to retreat and palm it over the bar. This will lead to the first corner on the night.
This is that shot a little bit earlier.
Mansali didn't get enough on it. The placement was good up in the corner.
It was well watched by Zendejas as well. I think initially he thought he was going to leave it as it was going to go over the crossbar. Couldn't quite risk it. Just tips it over.
Hey, what's this? What's this? Hey, whistle. Hey. Leave it right. No, leave this. Come on, boys. Right left. Come on.
Martinez. With the in-swinger. Zendejas punches away.
Yeah, good early shout from Zendejas as well. Keepers was shouted, he came out. Right fist, got good length on that fist as well.
Mansali. Looking for the overlapping run of Araman. Gutman. Kuzain heads away.
Really fancy taking that shot, the cross on with his left foot there, Gutman. He's desperate to try and get it back onto his right foot. Had a swing at it with his left foot, but it was a poor cross.
And we'll have a stoppage for a water break here as we reach the half-hour mark. So with that, let's take a look at the standings in USL Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Due to the high temperature of today's match, for the safety of
Tampa Bay Rowdies at the top in the east, and down toward the bottom, Charlotte and Swope Park Rangers.
Yeah, it's been a tough season for Swope Park and Charlotte. Just Hartford Athletic below them. Hartford, Swope Park and Charlotte all with one victory. Tampa Bay Rowdies obviously the only team in the league, Nate, without a loss. Looking very solid at the moment this season.
Actually 13 matches played for Charlotte, so a couple games in hand for Swope Park Rangers. They find themselves 1 point behind the Independents coming into this game.
Tu veux pas faire ça chaque moment parce que... Ah, il fait chaud, mon gars. Ah, putain, bon.
Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. The latest Select products and Select offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. 0-0 the score, as we've just wrapped up a water break here at the half-hour mark.
Yeah, we're good.
Ready for action once again as Gutman throws it in. Misplayed out of bounds for a Swope Park Rangers throw in now. Riley for Karani. Gutman with good recovery that time.
That's a couple of times now. There's been a good ball swept out by Camden Riley this time. Alexander a little earlier. Karani has to do a little better.
Oduro trying to clip it back. It was disrupted by Rad. Picks its way out to Karani. Sliding tackle from Gutman, and he's going to go in the book for this one. He thought he had won the ball cleanly, but it's a foul and a yellow on the Celtic loanee.
Correction number 15,
Take another look here.
in the 34th minute.
Just a little bit late on the play there. Gutman. It initially looked that because the ball went in that forward direction that Gutman had got a touch on. It wasn't. It was a touch from Karani and then the trip from Gutman. Correct decision from Ismir Pekmik, our referee this afternoon.
A pretty good battle between Gutman and Karani on that right-hand side of the Rangers formation, left-hand side for the Independents.
And they're managing to find him, Swope Park Rangers. Alexander's hit a couple of wonderful diagonal balls out to him. Just needs to be a bit more end product. Look, Karani, only 18 years of age. That will come with a bit more experience, a few more minutes under his belt. And he's certainly enjoying playing there in the shadows. Certainly is a hot one here today, Nate.
Particularly out in that sunshine. But those wide positions up the field have had some space against that three-man back line of Independence.
Yeah, because Gutman likes to push forward as well. He hasn't given a great deal of help to his left-sided centre-half, Aaron Maughan. Maughan, though, an experienced player in his own right. A lot of MLS games under his belt. Quite happy to come across and cover in the left-back position.
Karani with a hospital ball for Zelalem, who gets taken out from behind on a late challenge by Afrim Taku.
That one hurt as well. That's a really poor challenge from Taku. He's never going to get anywhere near the ball.
Well, the ball from Karani just carried it right into the path to make Taku think maybe that he had a play on it, but absolutely late, and from behind, he goes in the book for that.
We talked about the inexperience of Karani. He has to lay the ball in the right side for Zelalem. He's played it defender's side. And as you said, Taku thought he could get a piece of the ball. He certainly couldn't. Got a whole lot of Zelalem, though. Has to play that pass safe side, Karani.
Alexander over the top down the left-hand side, looking for Zelalem, and it just runs out. Gutman inside the penalty area, trying to get around Segbers. He does. Shot attempt blocked up into the air. Awkward clearance attempt by Alexander there. Sali puts it back in. Header straight down the middle. And the long arms of Zendejas reaching up to make the save.
You definitely have to question the clearance of Alexander there. He knew that the Charlotte Independence player was coming, so he ducked away from the header. Just hit him on the thigh. Got away with that one, though. Another comfortable save at the end for Zendejas.
Zendejas has to have some of the longest arms in USL Championship, and he certainly used them right here to deny the header by Nicky Jackson.
Yeah, it's a good cross from Mansali as well. Couldn't quite get enough power on it, Nicky Jackson.
He's replaced by number 21, Cyan Jones.
Well, that's going to do it for Nicky Jackson on the day. His last touch of the game as an early substitution coming in the 38th minute. Cyan Jones coming in to replace Jackson.
Certainly didn't notice anything wrong with him, but you can't see on screen, but the physio just down below us has gone straight over to Nicky Jackson, giving him an ice pack for the back of his left leg. Obviously a slight hamstring pull for Nicky Jackson.
Karani working his way toward the penalty area, was looking for Busio. Easily broken up that time by Ndam. Foul against Rangers this time, against Vinacore Decker.
Come on, Zion! Zion!
Oduro. Now Jones. Broken up by Riley. Ball's to Busio. Now Karani. Karani had an easy pass in the middle of the park for Gideon Zalalem, and I think the coaches were calling out for it. He didn't quite see it. Now he does. One-touch pass to Alak. To ground he goes, and he's earned a penalty. Well, Hassan Ndam with his hands on his hips, can't believe it. Interesting to have another look at this one, Matt Lawrence.
Certainly just catches the left foot or the left ankle of Alak there, does Ndam. Just with that right leg as it's trailing.
Yep.
It's a definite penalty. The referee's right there on the spot, Nate, 5 yards away. Good positioning from Ismir Pekmik. Pretty much the first time that Alak has got possession of the ball in the opposition's penalty area. And he wins Swope Park. Swope Park Rangers a penalty. Good play from Alak.
Now, I was about to make the point that he looked like he was standing on the ball a little too long, trying to decide what to do, but in the end, he earns the penalty. It's going to be taken by Camden Riley, the center back. He converted a penalty a couple of games ago for Swope Park Rangers for his first goal on the season.
Let's go, buddy, let's go.
So it's Riley. And he's denied by Brandon Miller. Turn behind for a corner. He guessed to the correct side, down to his right-hand side. A strong save.
This is a terrific save from Miller. It's not the greatest penalty in the world from Riley. It's at a lovely height for the goalkeeper. He guesses right, gets both hands to it. Good save.
Golden opportunity for Rangers to take the lead here. Instead, they'll have their first corner on the afternoon. In by Busio, headed away by Ndam. Back in by Kuzain. Oh, and Riley tried to put that past the goalkeeper. It's a late whistle and a foul against Rangers. I thought it was a fairly clear one against Rad. He just basically pushed Ndam out of the way. Aaron Mond was the man slow to get up here. That's a foul, right?
Yeah, it's an obvious foul there from Rad. It was a late, slightly late whistle, but look, the referee got it right.
Mond back to his feet now. Under pressure from Karani. Alexander takes it back for Rangers. Segbers under pressure from Gutman. A lock. Now Busio. It's really interesting. Everything you see Busio do is just so simple. It's nothing generally that jumps out off the page at you, but then all of a sudden you look, and even in his 17 games, 6 starts at the MLS level, he's got 4 goals and an assist, and they always seem to be in big moments.
He always keeps things simple, Nate. I like that. And he keeps the ball moving as well. The ball never stops. Every time he gets it, he touches the ball. Doesn't take too many touches. And he definitely always has a picture in his head, Nate. When the ball comes into him, he knows where it's going next.
That was another one of those passes from Karani that was just on the defender's side, and it allows the Independents to come the other way.
Go, sir. Good. Good, Mark. Good, Mark.
Jones. He was under pressure from Mark Segbers, and you could hear the encouragement Segbers was receiving from Paulo Nagamura, his coach. Martinez inside the D, turning. Now Jones over the bar. Did Zendejas get a touch to it? No, it's out for a goal kick. Into the 45th minute.
It's one of his first touches since coming on, Zion Jones. It's great play from Enzo Martinez and a perfect tee up for Jones. He has to do better than that. He gets right underneath the ball, as you can see there, no more than 8 to 10 yards out. Has to hit the target. Martinez certainly couldn't believe that Zion Jones had missed the target there.
Busio dribbling through a couple of Independence players, now turning. Alexander. Alak.
Alak certainly coming to the game the last 5 or 10 minutes. Big part of it, obviously winning the penalty that Swope Park Rangers unfortunately missed. But he hasn't just stayed out wide left, Alak. He's come inside as well a number of times in the past couple of minutes.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of
4 minutes of stoppage time. Remember, there was a water break in the first half. Busio, Zalalem. And Busio just got clattered into from behind by Aaron Mon this time.
Yeah, he's a smart player. May only be 17 years of age, but the experience here. He got his right foot in the way of Mons. He knew that he was going to take a little bit of a kick, Busio, but he protects the ball very well. May not be that big in stature. Always gets his body in the way, in between the defender and the ball. Wins a number of free kicks in that manner. May just be a little bit far out for either Kuzain or Busio for a strike. I think Kuzain may possibly fancy this.
These guys have shown the ability to score from long range on set pieces. Kuzain has a go into the belly of Brandon Miller, the goalkeeper.
Does well to gather that, Brandon Miller, because he just took it almost on the half volley, Brandon Miller. I think he's hurt himself. Just looks like he's clutching the back of that left knee.
He gave the thumbs up to the side, I think.
It's a good gather for Miller. He makes it look incredibly easy. Just gets the ball before it touches the turf. But immediately clutches the back of that left leg, the left knee. You'd have thought they'll try and see this out till half-time, just a couple of minutes before half-time. Won't want to make a second substitution, I wouldn't have thought this early on in the game. See how he reacts, maybe Brandon Miller, to a little bit of treatment during the 15 minutes of half-time.
Charlotte already making one substitution in the first half as Jim McGinnis was forced to go to his bench when Nicky Jackson appeared to suffer some sort of hamstring injury. Nothing you and I noticed, Matt, during the game itself, but as he went subbing off, we could tell that that's what they were looking at. So Zion Jones came on for Jackson in the 38th minute, and now we'll see if Miller is able to continue.
Yeah, because just before Jackson came off, he had that headed opportunity. He seemed to rise well enough for it. I'm sure it's just a minimal tweak of the hamstring, but he's still down below us. There he is, just icing. You can't quite see it, but he's got an ice bag just underneath the left leg.
Looks like Miller is going to be able to stay in the game. Referee had not yet blown his whistle. And now we're into the 49th minute. It's a throw-in, that's the issue.
Seems to be moving a little more comfortably, Brandon Miller. Jim McGinnis will certainly hope that he can continue.
So get him to the locker room and take a closer look as the halftime whistle could come at any moment. Had to add a little bit more stoppage time because of that injury to Miller. Good ball from the lock for Vindicore Decker. Lucio was calling for it, never got it. Lock has it now. And it will be a goal kick.
Got to give the Lack some credit there for a really good fizzed-in early pass into the feet of Vindicore Decker. So he certainly gained some confidence from winning that penalty, Lack, because he was pretty obsolete in the opening 25-30 minutes. They would hardly mentioned his name, but certainly come into the game more. Come in from the peripheries of that left-hand side. A lot more an integral part of this Swope Park Rangers attack.
In the air by Jones the first time. Martinez. Now Alexander. And there's the halftime whistle. No score through the first 45 minutes plus stoppage time between Swope Park Rangers and Charlotte Independence. We'll take a break. Halftime show coming up from Children's Mercy Park right after this. Everybody is seeking the shade here at Children's Mercy Park. And it's hard to come by because this game kicked off at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So temperatures in the upper 80s as Kansas City, Kansas is site to this Eastern Conference USL Championship game. 0-0 the score.
It's time to play Name That Town. Let's see which sporting players can correctly pronounce the names of towns around the Midwest. Today's town is Olathe.
Oh, I know this one.
Olith? We got like in Frozen here, it's gonna be like Olaf.
Oh, I bought my car from this city and I can't say it. Olathe.
Olate? Olate?
Olathe? Olathe. Easy, come on.
Olathe.
Hey. Olathe. Hey, that one I knew, eh? Olate? No, what?
Olathe.
Olathe? It's an E! That's an E, not an A. Olathe.
Olathe.
Okay.
It's an E. Olathe.
That's in Kansas City, like it's a suburb.
Oh, sorry.
just down the road from Kansas City, Kansas, Olathe, but here in KCK, it's 0-0 between Swope Park Rangers and Charlotte Independence.
Brown to find Lacroix. Now it's Musa. Oh, what a hit! Ryan Brown. Brown. Oh, that is electric from Phoenix on the break. Shot. Crossbar.
Defensive juggernaut for both of these squads. Here we go again. Steinberger on the turn. It's going to fall through. Allen! Just like that, it's 3-3. Alex Bassetti making a darting run. It finds its way all the way to Bassetti. Lays it off. Still an opportunity. Brown! Taylor again. The menacing attack. Taylor lets it go. And there's the opener for North Carolina FC.
Frankie comes inside on Watson. Acres of space here for the left wing back. Forbes now pinching in space to shoot. He drives it and beats far. Tosh versus Van Okel. Will this seal a spot? The fourth round. Number 4 delivers. 90th minute, Louisville leads at home again.
Into the 6-yard area, and it's Cicerone who wins in the air and restores St. Louis FC's 2-goal advantage.
So here comes Wynn. Is this offside? It is. A chance for Nashville to equalize, and they do! Carlton Belmar. Charleston into this round with 2 goals. And now, he sends them into the 4th round. Charleston with the upset. Gonna tie his shoe while action goes on around him. Oh, good chance here for Lima. Up against the top scorer. Frater puts it in. New Mexico United in front. That's kept in play. Skundred's the initial effort. Another cross. Headed in. Winner Bonoma at the death.
Halftime here at Children's Mercy Park between Swope Park Rangers and Charlotte Independence. It is 0-0 at the break. Let's take a look at our halftime statistics. No goals, that's the most important statistic, but Independence out shooting Rangers 10-4, and shots on target are even 3-3, but a couple off the bar by the Independence that might have bothered Swope Park Rangers. Possession relatively even.
It's certainly an evenly paced match. Statistics very similar as well. Yes, Charlotte Independence have got more shots, but level on shots on target. I think they can consider themselves unlucky, Charlotte Independence, with at least one of their strikes, but equally, look, they have such a good chance, obviously, from the penalty spot and Camden Riley. Yes, it was a decent strike, but it was quite a comfortable save, I think, in the end for Brandon Miller.
Well, Nicky Jackson might have been the most dangerous man in the first half, and he's been subbed off because of a hamstring injury. Meanwhile, for Swope Park Rangers, next home game, June 30th, here at Children's Mercy Park as they take on their neighbors from right down I-70, St. Louis FC. Get your tickets at SeatGeek and sportingkc.com/Rangers. Let's take a look at the rest of the league, some of the big storylines. Austin's Tier Pack voted the championship player of the week. He's a former Rangers man. Tampa Bay Rowdies remain the only undefeated team in USL Championship. And we'll keep an eye on the awards championship level in USL. We'll take a look at some highlights from the first 45 minutes as we return to Children's Mercy Park. Just about set for the second half here at Children's Mercy Park. We are awaiting our first goal of the game. That doesn't mean that the first half was without highlights and without chances. Charlotte Independence in the first half had their fair share of decent opportunities. The first one coming to the veteran Oduro, but the volley went wide.
Certainly expect to do better there. Met it well with the inside of his left foot. Should hit the target.
This ended up being a foul against Enzo Martinez, and it hit the bar anyway. Maybe the best opportunity for Nicky Jackson. He had a couple of chances. This one denied by the crossbar, and then denied by Zendejas.
The last piece of action for Nicky Jackson, because he went on with a slight hamstring pull after that. This is the penalty incident. It's clear as day there, the foul. Decent strike, but such a nice height for Brandon Miller. It's a really comfortable save in the end.
And then the man who replaced Nicky Jackson, Zion Jones, just didn't have the technique with the left foot to stay on top of it. When there's action, you have to eat popcorn. That's a rule, whether it's a movie or a match. And these young men obviously are enjoying the action here at Children's Mercy Park, but they want to know if there's going to be a goal in this one. The second half now upon us. A couple of the teenagers featuring for Swope here today. Sean Karani from Wichita. Kaveh Rad, another teenager there. Gianluca Busio, 17 years old. Originally from North Carolina, but moved to Kansas City to get into the academy system for Sporting Kansas City. And he has played in the academy system. He's played for Swope Park Rangers. He has played meaningful minutes for Sporting Kansas City, including 3 minutes just yesterday, north of the border in Toronto. The captain in this game for Swope Park is the goalkeeper, Adrian Zendejas. He's gotten some time with Sporting Kansas City in CONCACAF Champions League play this year.
I think we can probably safely assume he may well get a game in the US Open Cup for Sporting KC away at Minnesota on Wednesday. There's the young lad still tucking into the popcorn. Seems to be a bottomless pit of popcorn there.
Hey, how much popcorn can you fit into your mouth with one handful? That's the contest. Camden Riley had a penalty opportunity in the first half, but was denied by Brandon Miller. So that's why it is still scoreless as the second half is upon us from sun-soaked Children's Mercy Park. Nate Bucati along with Matt Lawrence. We thank you for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. Busy time in the world of American soccer. The U.S. under-20s falling in heartbreaking fashion today to Ecuador in the quarterfinals of the U20 World Cup.
Certainly no disgrace though. The Ecuadorian team, South American champions, very good side. I think the assumption was after knocking out the favourites France that US could progress a little further. Last 3 World Cups, under-20 World Cups, been knocked out at the quarter-final stage. Real shame, but a great showing from Tab Ramos' side.
They were able to beat that France side that had a 4-man backline worth a reported $100 million combined.
You got players there who'd been performing at Champions League level. Obviously the first team as well for Borussia Dortmund. Zagadou, absolute man mountain, 6'4", 6'5". Looked a good player. Wasn't that daunting a task though. US won the game.
Couldn't win today though against Ecuador, so their run is done. The, of course, men's national team will be playing in this very building here later this month as they get underway with the Gold Cup. That'll be the last game of the group stages for the United States. They'll take on Panama here. Of course, the U.S. women's national team begin their World Cup campaign in France on Tuesday. Here, it's USL Championship soccer today. Charlotte Independence in white, Swope Park Rangers in navy blue. Foul against Abdoulaye Mansali. Rangers patiently looking to play out of the back. Rad plays it now deep down the field to Vanacore Decker.
That's tough for Vanacore Decker there. The ball played up towards his head. There's nothing more he can do than flick it on. Aya Balak has to see that and come in from the left-hand side, give him a bit of support, Vanacore Decker. They had been so patient, and then the long ball into Vanacore Decker was okay. Just a little bit too high. No way he could have brought that down. But as we know from this Swope Park Rangers side, willing to be patient, willing to play the ball out to the back. Certainly don't want to be giving the ball away there, though.
Foul against Swope Park Rangers this time. Balak taking down Indam. Jones. Get it forward to Gutman, but Segbers taking it back. Martinez, Gutman, clipping it to the back post. Mansali trying to chest it down. Maybe one touch too many. Alexander comes away with it. For Decker.
Touch the fucking ball. You saw it. You saw it.
And thought that was off of Swope Park Rangers, but referees don't agree.
A polite little discussion between Ndam and the fourth official.
No. Off Enzo Martinez. That's where you see that nice, tidy work from Zelalem. He makes it look easy.
He's got such good feet, he really does, really technically gifted. Just need to see a little bit more drive from him.
Speaking of drive, Busio trying to drive down the middle there. It was closed down by Araman.
Yeah, we mentioned in the first half that normally Busio just a 1- and 2-touch merchant, keeps the ball moving very quickly. Maybe overplayed his hand there slightly.
It's always interesting to see how players react in their different environments. Busio, when he's playing with Sporting Kansas City, is playing with a lot of players who are literally twice his age. There are 32, 33, 34-year-olds out there who just turned 17 and now playing with players much more in line with his general age. Here comes a shot toward the far post from Ephraim Taku, wide of the target. Then Busio goes and plays at the U17s with guys that are his age.
This is that strike from Taku, just slightly wide. I think Zendejas had that covered. Just watched it a good half a yard wide. But I'm with you now. It is intriguing to see Busio. He's a different type of player, whether it's MLS or US under-17s or here at Swope Park.
Comes Jones. He had gotten through 2 Swope Park players, but in the end closed down by Rad.
Game certainly slowed down in tempo in this second half. Not surprising with the heat we have out there. It's more of the pitch is being covered in shadows, but it's still incredibly hot and humid out there.
Gutman goes to ground, thought he'd been fouled by Rad. Referee had a good look at it and waves him back to his feet. Busio just tripped himself up that time.
You don't see that very often. Normally carries the ball so confidently. Gianluca Busio. Little stumble there.
Riley with the intervention that time for Rangers. Here's Segbers. Karani. Still Karani. A step on Gutman. Finally cleared away by Teacott.
It's a great run from Karani, so direct.
Gutman going to stretch him out here.
It's a little early to be getting cramped. It must be, though, because Gutman is... certainly was trying to ease off that hamstring muscle.
Taking another look at that run by Karani.
It's great direct running. Attacks the heart of the Charlotte Independence defence. It's a good toe in the end from Teacott.
Well, it is hot enough and sunny enough here today that there will be mandatory water breaks. There was one in the 30-minute mark of the first half. So maybe that leads to players being a little more susceptible to the cramps at this point.
Looks like he's going to be okay.
Karani has received plaudits from people in the Kansas City organization. Some of the pace that he's been able to show, his willingness to run at defenders.
Certainly a strong runner with the ball, Karani. Not afraid to take players on. As you'd expect for somebody just 18 years of age. The end product isn't quite there. Often the way for wingers, probably 22, 23, they start developing a really good end product. Happened even with Ryan Giggs, one of the best wingers we've seen in the last sort of 20 or 30 years. Didn't quite have that end product at 16, 17 when he was playing for Man United. It slowly came, though, in his early 20s. Sure things will be similar for Karani.
Saw him take one of those electrolyte packages, trying to stretch things out over on the far side. And he will re-enter the field now. Here's Alalam, the interception. Now Kuzain. Kuzain can pull the trigger from here. It deflects off the backside of Stephen Tico and out for a corner.
Certainly isn't afraid, is he, to pull the trigger. Juan Kuzain gets it out of his feet. It's a good strike, but well blocked by Teacott.
Alexander making the long diagonal run all the way to the far side to take this corner.
I hope it's worth his while. It is a long run over there into the sun. Delivers a good in-swinging corner.
Kuzain knocks it forward. Karani looking for Riley. It's broken up by Ndam. Kuzain, though, keeps it in. Now Busio. Long-range effort and a diving save from Brandon Miller. Behind for a corner.
It's a good pass from Malak into the feet of Busio. Gets it out of his feet very early. Just curling, maybe hitting the inside of that post, but a good strong left hand from Brandon Miller.
He's definitely headed for the post. Which side of the post? We'll never know. Third corner for Rangers.
Just out of shot, Sean Karani's getting stretched off by Aya Balak, as we can see there. He's certainly cramping up. I thought it was the left leg last time, now it's the right leg.
It looks like Rangers will make a couple of substitutions here.
2 total.
Busio drives it in. Kuzain out to Zelalem. Well, this time Zelalem not the tidy touch we're used to seeing. The Independents could have a breakaway here. They don't really make the most of it.
Yeah, and Swope Park Rangers got numbers back incredibly quickly to avoid the swift counter from Charlotte Independents. Good play from Swope Park Rangers. Just that heart and desire to get back into defence. Highly evident there.
Right now, Rangers are playing down a man as Karani is walking back toward the technical area on the near side. Poor touch from Busio that time.
So I think he just took his eye off the ball there, Busio, as it was coming into him. Get that substitution on us, or make the substitution as quick as possible, Swope Park. It's tough to be down a man in this heat.
Martinez let it run through nicely, but Oduro couldn't get on the end of it before Zendejas comes out to gather.
Yeah, they weren't quite on the same wavelength there. Some great overs from Enzo Martinez. The Juro hadn't gambled though. Zendejas came out comfortable for him in the end.
Locke and Alex trying to combine there on the far side. Doesn't come off, and that'll lead to a double substitution.
For Swope Park Rangers in the 59th minute, leaving the game, number 98, Ayub Alak. He's replaced by number 53, Killian Colombi.
Killian Colombi coming in for Ethan Vanacore Decker.
Swope Park Rangers in the 59th minute, leaving the game, number 80, Sean Trapani. He's replaced by number 39, Jerome.
Beg your pardon, Ayub Alak was the man subbed off there. Right into the game, Mbekele.
No surprise that both wingers for Swope Park Rangers have been withdrawn from the field of play by head coach Paulo Nagamura. Put in a lot of work down those touch lines, and Mbekele and Colombi come in to replace them.
Busio will take this corner in the 60th minute.
You're on the same man. Away.
That was a clean header by Rad. Now it falls to Mbekele. His shot was blocked and redirected toward the goalkeeper, who makes a save. Got a man down for Charlotte here.
Yeah, Mansali takes this ricochet full in the face. Keystone Cops defending from Charlotte Independents. Not a great header there by Rad. I think in the end it comes off his shoulder. Then Mansali takes that fully in the cheek. No surprise either that all of the players are running over either to the sidelines or to the physio, taking on water, trying to rehydrate as much as possible. Undoubtedly the players will be losing 7, 8, 9 pounds of weight out there.
Jorge Herrera going through his warm-up paces. Juan Kuzain receiving instructions from Paulo Nagamura. Kuzain battled an injury earlier this season to his ankle, but he's back at full strength now. Mansali back up to his feet.
I'm sure Mansali will be all right. Would have smarted for a little while, but I'm sure he's fine.
Quite the international feel to this Charlotte team. Mansali is from the Gambia. You've got Taku from Albania, Ndam from Cameroon, Ticot from France.
Martinez from Uruguay.
Oduro from Ghana. And Aaron Mond from the United States. Aaron Mond from New Jersey. That's in the U.S., right? And we're back underway. Martinez. Riley intercepts. Kaylee, I'm not sure where he was headed with that pass.
As to be expected, the game's just got a little disjointed in the last few moments. Been a couple of stoppages for injuries. It is, as we've said, it's so hot out there for the players. Physically draining, but also mentally incredibly tiring too.
Sliding tackle won that time by Mbakele. Zalala. Nice ball through to Colomby.
Hey, one,
cross in, nobody there.
Sorry, boys, sorry.
This is certainly the ability that Zelalem has. Fantastic ball into the feet of Colomby. Has to do better with that delivery, though. Mishits it completely across the face of the 6-yard box, nobody there. But we need to see more of that from Zelalem. At this level, he really should be dictating the game.
Lucio. Hussein. Colomby. Off of Hassan Ndam and out for a Rangers throw-in. Zelalem. Straight up into the air that time from Ariman. Handball against Rangers. That was against Alexander. Mansali on the right-hand side. Gutman. Boy, he just had time and space, but got it caught under his boots.
Yeah, just a dreadful first touch from Gutman. Just has to get the ball out of his feet and strike on goal. Gets it stuck completely under his feet because it was a wonderful ball across to him from Mansali. Gets that all wrong, Andrew Gutman. So the game's almost slowing to a walking pace at times, as we would expect.
Colomby making the run. Gets it from Busio. Now Mbakele. Leading his way into the penalty area. Busio has an effort. Couldn't turn it on frame. But that was better from Swope Park Rangers, and maybe not surprisingly, Matt, it comes from the two substitutes who might be bringing a little more energy to the field.
Exactly, a bit more pace, a bit more energy. It's a good ball from Mbakele into the feet of Gianluca Busio. I think he'd just expect to be able to whip that one on target towards the top corner. Couldn't quite bring it round with the inside of his right foot.
Jorge Herrera will come on to replace Dominic Oduro.
For Charlotte in the 66th minute, leading the game, number 7, Dominic Oduro. He's replaced by number 10, Jorge Herrera.
So a new strike partnership for Charlotte up top. Zion Jones came in the first half to replace Nicky Jackson, and now Herrera in to replace Dominic Oduro.
33-year-old Oduro off, 38-year-old Herrera on.
20-year-old Alexander loses out to 28-year-old Martinez.
It's a shame for Charlotte Independence. I think that Nicky Jackson had to go off in about the 30th minute of that first half.
Herrera trying to test Zendejas, who realized that that one was not headed for the back of the net, so he lets it skip wide.
He did. Jackson and Ajura in that first half, I think they were linking up very well. Shame that couldn't continue for Charlotte Independence. They're causing a number of problems to the back line of Swope Park Rangers.
Good flick forward at a time by Taku. Foul against Swope Park Rangers. Alex.
Alexander, just a handball there, just came off the top of his arm. Referee right on the spot there. Allows Mansali to deliver a ball left-footed into the box.
Solid. Riley does well to win the header.
Defensively, does very well, Camden Riley.
Gutman. Aaron Mon with the header, wide of target. 69th minute, 0-0 to score. Busio. Kaylee. Kuzain. Raleigh finds Busio. This is his body well there. From behind, Martinez fouls the young midfielder.
Yeah, simple decision. Prismir Pekmik right on the spot there. It's a good turn from Busio initially, but dragged back by Enzo Martinez.
An elaborate braid and beard combo from Martinez. He gets a slightly more slapdash hairdo of Gianluca Busio. Busio will tell you that when he's in the mood, it will take quite a bit of time to tease that hair the way he wants it. Alexander puts this one into the mixer. Falls to Mbekele.
Get out, get out, get out. Look around, good zone, higher zone, higher zone, higher. Runner. Away.
Busio got the end of it. It was blocked, though, by Teacott. Busio has showed the desire in the penalty area for Swope Park Rangers here in the second half. He's had some shot attempts.
Yeah, Zalalem and Juan Kuzain are much happier to sit. That allows Gianluca Busio just to break into the box at will. We know he's got that eye for goal, Busio. It's him just inches away from it at the near post. Maybe grows that hair a little bit more that you're talking about, Nate. He could have met that.
I think he got a piece of it, Matt, but it then was blocked by Teacott. We'll have a substitution for Swope Park Rangers, their third and final. And it's going to be the birthday boy coming on. Felipe Hernandez, who is of legal age now to purchase himself an adult beverage. 21 years old today. Felipe Hernandez, who is the leading goal scorer for Rangers on the season, so he's got the opportunity to make his mark in the final 19 minutes plus stoppage time as he comes on.
Yeah, and he really does have an eye for goal. 5 goals, 2 assists already this season for Swope Park. Lively player already getting on the ball.
fantastic motor, Hernandez. Trying to combine with Busio. Was sandwiched in between two defenders that time. That's one of the things that the Swope Park Rangers will tell you about Hernandez. He has a non-stop motor. Is not afraid, even at his smaller size, to throw his body around into tackles as well.
Yeah, the Swope Park Rangers games I've seen this season, he does love getting on the ball. He's another player like Busio, likes getting into the box. He's got a vicious strike from outside the box as well, Hernandez.
Kele gives it away. Herrera. To Mansali.
With Hernandez and Busio liking to get into the box. He's just going to apply the pressure a little bit more to Wankuzane. He's going to have to sit and hold, protect the back line of Swope Park Rangers. He's done it well so far, Wankuzane.
Hernandez seems to be more of that traditional box-to-box type midfielder.
As you say, he's got the engine for it. He has the ability to do that too.
It appears that if you could combine the engine of Hernandez with the technical quality of Zelalem, got yourself a heck of a midfielder. Those two guys will continue to try to develop those other parts of their game.
Yeah, I certainly tend to agree. You like Zelalem just to show a little bit of the drive and the endeavour maybe at times of Felipe Hernandez. Certainly can't doubt the quality of Zelalem. So good on the ball. I've seen a couple of masterful passes from Zelalem. At times they just want him to get out of second and third gear and really go for it.
It was a poor pass from Hernandez, but it makes its way to Vandercourt Decker. Now Alexander. Trying to get it across to Busio. Broken up. And we've got a man down for Charlotte back on their defensive side as they make their way forward. Mansali around Riley. Tried to get around Rad. Rad threw his shoulder into him and will be called for the foul. Meanwhile, a man down back at the other end of the field for the Charlotte Independents.
Give me three. Bring the charger. Give me three.
This is the free kick there, maybe. The referee's just saying there's a little bit of contact by Rad that forces Mansali just not to quite get on the end of his own dribble. Certainly a tight call there from the referee, Ismir Peknik. Mansali's picked himself up though. He's got that trusty left foot. It looks like he fancies himself from there.
Harryman was the man down for Charlotte at the other end, but he's back to his feet.
Push him out. He's good. Busio, if he touches the ball, you go. Hussein, Alex. Yeah. Vivo en movimiento.
Mansali, and he tucks it inside the near post. What a strike from Mansali, but we have an offside flag that has come up against the Charlotte Independents. Swope Park Rangers have tried to restart the play. The referee's going to come back and make them retake the set piece. Does this man affect the play if he is in an offside position? I'm not really certain what.
That's a bad call.
Yes.
Not just bad, there's nobody even close to offside who can interfere with the play. That looks as though the ball goes directly into the net. Looks like it's a great strike from Mansali. Zendejas couldn't quite get to it. I'm a little bit gobsmacked. I'm not quite sure what's gone on there.
There was a player in an offside position, but he was on the opposite side of the field. I think it was Aaron Mon. The player has to be in a position to affect the play.
Or in the line of sight of the goalkeeper.
Which affects the play, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you're 20 yards away on the opposite side of the penalty area,
I don't see how you could make the argument that this man is affecting Zendejas. Look at the top of your screen. Difficult for me to see the number there. I think it's Aaron Mon. Second man from the top. That might be Ndam, who broke early, but is not involved in the strike whatsoever from Mansali. Now, there's no video assistant referee here. The referee saw the flag go up. At the end of the day, it's that man's decision, Ismir Pekmic.
I would love to know what exactly was given there. I don't think there's any way it can be offside, because whether it be Ndam or whether it was Aaron Mond at the far side, we're not quite sure.
I mean, the flag came up.
It came up straight away. It was a very early flag. He was convinced. And the referee seems certain in all his discussions with the Charlotte Independence players.
That's referee's assistant, Shane Kennard, on the near side, who put the flag up. But of course, remember, that's just that's a suggestion, right? From the referee's assistant. It's the center man's.
Quite normally, the referee would run over to the assistant referee. They'd have a discussion, but I know obviously that they're mic'd up. I assume they just had a quick conference and decided that that was the correct decision.
Unless there's something else that we just are not seeing there.
We're not there at pitch side, so it may have been something that we missed. I know Herrera was standing just behind the wall. Whether he had some contact with the wall, he certainly wasn't, as far as I'm aware, in an offside position.
Well, it stands 0-0. Busio plays it forward to Decker. Decker putting it across. Gutman with a good recovery run to set it out for a throw-in. Hernandez inside the penalty area. Stays on his feet. Columby. He goes to ground. Referee says play on, and here come Charlotte. Herrera was taken down off the ball. Referee plays advantage. He saw the foul. The cross bangs off of Rad, and we're going to have a yellow card on the backside against Mbekele for the foul that took place in the middle of the park on Herrera.
I think it was actually Mark Segbers there, Nate.
Oh, Segbers, you're correct.
But it was. He dragged down Herrera. It's right in front of the referee.
Look at the size difference, man. Come on, man. How's a big guy going like that? Catch a little guy like that. Call it. Just go back. Let's go.
Taku. Tikat. Looking for the long diagonal for Gutman, who didn't make the run. Nodded back by Segbers to Zendejas. Well, now you've got Segbers 43 and Mbekele on that far side. Herrera through to Busio. Busio still on his right foot, shot blocked and out for a corner.
It's unlucky from Busio. It's a really good strike, keeps it hard and low, but to flex behind for a corner.
Get in now. We got one. Mark up, let's go. Jake, see. Come on, man. 48, Jake, 48.
Hernandez this time to do the honors. Gutman. Here's Kuzain for Swope Park Rangers. $9 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in this one. It is 0-0, even if controversially controversially so.
Yeah, we hope we actually get some word from the fourth official.
Here's the man Mansali, who will feel that he was unfairly denied a goal on a beautiful free kick. And he tucked inside the left-hand post of Zendejas. Taku. First time shot right down the middle from Ariman.
Yeah, comfortable take for Zendejas. Another strike on target, though, for Charlotte Independence. Certainly the game sparked into life a little since that disallowed goal for Mansali.
Rad with a nice header. Decker. Foul against Charlotte here. Kuzane was taken down.
Yeah, Teacott, a long way away from his goal. Didn't mind giving the foul away there.
Turned and sprinted right back into lower altitudes. Independents have outshot the home side 17-7. Hernandez intercepts, finds Kuzane. Back to Hernandez. He'd love to notch the match winner on his birthday. And Michele. Hernandez again. Decker. Busio is looking back for Decker. Didn't hit the pass as cleanly as he would have liked.
Yeah, it's a great little 1-2 idea from Vanacore Decker. Busio with the outside of his right foot, just couldn't flick it into his path.
Both of these sides stuck on one win on the season. Right now they seemed almost destined to stay that way, as each side has had golden opportunities to score what would have possibly become the match winner. In the first half, it was a penalty for Swope Park Rangers. Riley, though, was denied by the goalkeeper Brandon Miller on a good save, and then Rangers, or the Independents, thought they had taken the lead on a free kick goal that was disallowed, we believe, on an offside call that was, if that was the call, just flat out wrong, to be blunt about it. Unless there was something that we just did not see in the video reviews or replays. Ball through for Jones. He gets around Rad, puts the cross in, and good backside coverage from Segbers. Rad is down on the ground in some pain after he was shrugged off and dismissed by Jones.
Yeah, it's some strength from Zion Jones, it really was. Just had the blinkers on a little bit. This is the strength there, they're coming together, but just out of shot. Gutman is all alone on the back post. If he could have just pulled it back a little bit more, Gutman was tapping into an empty net. We see him just out of shot there. Well, we don't see him, he is just out of shot.
Alex.
Second quarter for the Independents. Awkward header there. Alexander tries to head away. Decker finally clears as far as Gutman. His shot on the half volley into the stands.
Just couldn't quite get over it. Andrew Gutman there on the edge of the box. Would have hoped to hit the target. Couldn't keep it down.
the 7th minute, leaving the game for 29, Abdullah Mansali. He's replaced by
Mark Hill coming into the game for Abdullah Mansali. Final substitution for Jim McGinnis' side. With under 4 minutes plus stoppage time remaining, still scoreless.
Another little Celtic connection with Mark Hill coming on. Celtic is a former club, 20 years of age, Scottish-born, Glasgow-born Mark Hill.
Busio wins the 50-50. And sends it on the right-hand side to Segbers. Last-minute heroics. Are there any in store here? And McKelly's cross in, dealt with by Aaron Mond. Actually, that was Teacott who cleared away. Well, for a Glasgow native, anytime he plays against the Rangers, no matter who those Rangers might be, he might get his back up a little bit. Mark Hill. Maybe in that case, as he takes on the Swope Park Rangers, not the Glasgow Rangers. There's Busio. No foul, says the referee. Alexander keeps it in. Columby. All the way across to Mbekele. Let's have a match winner. What do you say? 2 minutes plus stoppage time remaining.
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of stoppage time as well. Might take a moment of magic from one of the players on show. Or it could take a horrendous error as well. The players are pretty much out on their feet out there, physically and mentally shattered.
Rad making his way all the way up the field. Kuzain, Busio. Busio gets it back.
Good, Mark. Well done. Come on, boys.
We're told 5 minutes of stoppage time will be added. There's the former Celtic man, Mark Hill. Wins that header. Hernandez called for the handball. Martinez driving forward now. Here's Hill. Jones. He got away with the handball that time. You could hear Paulo Nagamura calling for that. Now for a throw-in with the 90th minute.
Again. Come on, let's bubble. Taku working. Taku. Keep positions. Careful.
Gutman. For the switch to the near side, Taku giving it chase. Can't get there. Goal kick for Rangers.
Good idea there, the switch from left to right.
There will be 5 minutes of stoppage time.
No surprise that we're seeing the 5 minutes, the water break, a couple of injuries, a number of substitutions. Can there be one last effort here this afternoon?
Hill gets it over to Taku. To Hill. And Mbekele wins it back for Rangers. Busio. Oh, he picked out Columby. His touch let him down.
We said a moment of magic, didn't we? That was a magic pass from Busio into the path of Columby. Has to do better with that first touch, take it in his stride. Overhits it by Good few yards. I think we were hoping for one last chance. Is it going to come?
Now, you might have two sides that are just wiped by the sun and heat and humidity in this one. We are almost 90 seconds of the 5 minutes of stoppage time done. Alexander. Harriman. Brad finally comes over and wins a nice sliding tackle. Could that send the Rangers the other way? Mbekele. Busio, he's the man you want on the ball. Hernandez.
Both of them trying to engineer a strike.
Mbekele working his way into the penalty area. The cross in. Oh, he was trying to pick out Busio. Well done by Brandon Miller to cover it.
Yeah, great goalkeeping from Brandon Miller. Because there's a vicious ball whipped back towards Busio from Mbekele.
Gutman couldn't get on the end of that. Just about halfway through the stoppage time. Still 0-0. Hernandez. Now Vanacore Decker. Busio with a good turn. Thought about the shot. Gets it in Mbekele instead. He'll have the shot. And it's palmed up into the stands.
Busio gets the ball out of his feet there. I wanted him to have a go with his right foot. Mbekele's at far too tight an angle, really, to trouble Brandon Miller. Comfortable save for Miller. This could be that last chance. Camden Riley, we know, attacks the ball very well. Number 44 for Swope Park Rangers. Carve Rad, likewise. Number 48.
Busio. Headed across the goal mouth. Alexander brings it down. Goalkeeper Miller comes out to cover. Sends it down the left-hand channel. Segber's giving chase over there, along with Jones. Jones goes to ground, no foul.
Referee deems that nothing more than a coming together between Segbers and Jones. I wanted to see the foot race there. That would have been a good race between those two. Both lightning quick over the first 10 yards.
Come on, Felipe.
Busio and Mbekele. It's knocked back to Busio. He was looking for Decker's run. Decker didn't make it. Maybe time for one last foray forward. There's about 30 seconds left in this one. Here's Busio. Now Hernandez. Segbers. Mbekele. And that will do it. No score in this one. A 1-1 draw, a 0-0 draw, 1 point for each side. In the end, the Charlotte Independents might feel that they should have had the match winner on a free kick strike from Abdoulaye Mansali. It was waved off for an apparent offside. And that is it. We will take a break and wrap things up right after this from Children's Mercy Park. Final score at Children's Mercy Park: Swope Park Rangers 0, Charlotte Independence 0. Napier Katie along with Matt Lawrence as we wrap up our coverage here today. It was a hot one at Children's Mercy Park. And we take a look at our final statistics. Matt, relatively even game.
It was, but a game of missed opportunities.
And missed calls, maybe.
Exactly, missed calls. Camden Riley misses a penalty. Abduli Mansali hits a wonderful free kick into the bottom left corner of Adrian Zendejas' goal, but it's called off. We're not quite sure what for.
We're told it was offside, but we're not sure how that could be the case. Brandon Miller and Adrian Zendejas with clean sheets today. For Matt Lawrence, for Curtis Lorenz, and our entire crew here at Children's Mercy Park, this is Napier Katie saying thanks for watching. The final score: Swope Park Rangers 0, Charlotte Independence 0. So long, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.